up, y'all? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Queen Faith here, and yes, it is still Black History Month, and so of course we're going to talk about an issue that is huge in the Black community. And as always, these are my opinions based off my beliefs and experiences, and feel free to have differing opinions because you have different beliefs and experiences, and you can leave those in the comments. Let's talk about it. So, is there a need for a man to be in the family, or is it just fine for children to be raised in a single parent home by single mothers? So, my experience is that y'all, I think y'all should know by now, I was raised in a two-parent household, and I personally think it helps tremendously. Now, there were other aspects of my family that also helped, but I think, okay, you have a solid foundation, you have people playing their roles as they were meant to be played, and it just helps in bringing things up. So when you deal with one person raising this person, let's not get it twisted. I know plenty of bomb single moms who are doing the best they could do. They may not be doing the very best for the child, but they are doing the very best that they could do. And I'm going to say they may not be doing the very best for the child because there are plenty of parents, single or two-parent homes, who aren't doing the best for the child. They're doing parenting based off of how they wish they would have been raised. But anyway, back to this. So there are plenty of bomb single moms. Shout out to y'all who did not run away from your responsibility and continue to hold it down and raise your children as you should. But living in a house with one person means you have one person, the mother, teaching the female, the daughter, how to be a woman, while also teaching the boy how to be a man. You have females, okay? And so when you're dealing with a single family, a single mother home, either you're dealing with a female who potentially the spouse died or the baby's father died and she's just doing it on her own. The spouse left. There never was another person in the picture, or there was a person in the picture and they decided to leave that person. And so there are different emotions tied to it. So there are different females in the situation. So if you're dealing with a whole female, like they're whole, they know their worth, they aren't sitting here, you know, relying on anything else. They are really and truly, they know exactly who they are. They know their worth. They know that regardless of what happened to them, these are their children and their children need to be taught right. There are very few people, whether you're single or you're married, that are actually whole and actually understand themselves completely. So it's hard for somebody who's hurt and bitter to teach a girl how to be a woman. It's easier for them to teach the girl how to be a bitter female, how to bash men, and how to not fully know their worth. So for a female, she may not ever see the mother be loved. Now, let's make it clear. Being loved does not make you complete. But as far as people growing up, people are always telling children, oh, you got a boyfriend, you got a girlfriend. So when you are so relationship driven as a society, to you say that to even a 3-year-old and even some of the parents with your nasty selves calling your children your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you're so relationship driven that if you coming from a single parent house and you are coming from a broken parent, whether it's mother or father, then you yourself don't understand what that is at all, because they aren't capable of teaching you because they have not healed themselves in order to teach you. So many, 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 many issues stem from single parent homes. And if you are a single parent and you are killing it, kudos to you. I know you're going through a lot. And I'm not going to say statistically, because I don't know the percentages, but where I see more than the other. I see more single moms than I do single dads. And there are some things with how society works that as a community we have allowed ourselves to be trapped by those same things and continue to allow ourselves to lose our black men to so many different things. So I understand that that's an issue. So some people literally just have to deal with that situation. Now, as far as whole families with the mother, father there with the children, there are also issues with that. So sometimes you have people who stay in relationships who should not be there, and you say you're staying for the children. And that is the absolute, I want to say it's the dumbest decision, but I've never been in that situation. But I don't think it's right to say, I'm staying here for the children, because your child would rather you be happy than for you to deal with certain things such as abuse and adultery. Okay? So lots of that goes on, and you have the twistedness that gets in where maybe the father is never there and he's always out in the streets or in somebody else's bed. And then that's something that the children are also seeing, and that is also being shown to the daughter, where she's like, is that really what love is? Like, my mama says she loved my dad so much and she's dealing with this. Is that really love? And I'm just here to say that is not love. That is fear. Once again, not speaking from personal experiences. This hasn't been anything I've gone through. But that's not love. Love is your daddy being faithful to your mama, and then they're working through things. It's not, oh, my daddy cheating, and you as the child know. If you as the child know, then the mama knows too. So now, in order to be loved, your mama has to go through this hurt. That's not what it should be. So, but outside of that, you have, back to the single parent. You have one income coming in. You have maybe not one income. You might have two sources of income. But now you have the mom being gone a lot because she's steady trying to provide so much. And she wants to give so much to her children to make up for what they're missing out on. And it ends up not being fair to the child. Like, no doubt she loves the child. That's why she's out here doing this. But at the same time, the child needs parents to be there with them. Not as a friend per se, but, you know, there are plenty of things that children have to be taught. So when you have a two-parent home, you have the mother, the father. You have two sources of income, potentially. The woman's and the man's. And that releases a whole lot of stress, because it's so much easier to say, let's pay this $1,000 in rent when they two people that can contribute to that, as opposed to it's just me at the house making this money by myself, and now I got to see how I'm going to make ends meet because this bill due, that bill due, that bill due. Okay. So then you have, there's, like I said, the bill situation, but then you also have the person that can help you. So when you're married, you're like, oh, well, I got this going on. Can you go do this? When you're single, your child needs something. You calling your job if your family ain't got your back. You calling your job saying, my child has something going on. Can I please take off? Now, if you got a good family that got your back, you can reach out to them and say, can you pick up my baby? Such and such is going on. Can you go check it out? So that's just some differences. And I think just based off of these very minor things, it is very important for us as a community to say, how can we bring family back into our community? How can we change the whole, I'm only being raised by my mom, or I'm only being raised by my dad? How can we change that whole thing? in order to make this easier for us, because that's how I believe we have a disadvantage to other communities. Like, yes, other communities get divorces, but it's not, one, I don't see it. I don't be all up in other communities and their business, but I see a whole lot more, like going into Walmart, especially on the weekends. I see a mama, a daddy, and children in the store. Going into the store for people who look like me, I see daddies by themselves looking around. Unacceptable. I see mamas there with children trying to manage them while also trying to make sure that they have what they need for the house and that the babies are taken care of and all that. And it's just a huge difference. And I think that is what hurts us as a Black community, is that we don't understand the full dynamic of how much of a blessing it is to be with family. Now, don't get anything I said twisted. If your people that were put in this earth as your family have these terrible, y'all know what I'm talking about, then that's not somebody that you need to be with. It's not helpful for you at all. I mean, as far as the basics of we all good people, okay? Because when you have help, it's always going to be better than when you don't have help, if we're all good people. If I'm a good person and I have good help with me, then that means we can go further down the road than me just by myself. That's the whole thing about teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work. And there is very little teamwork in our community. And me seeing it and seeing how it affects the children is like, we got to do something to change it. So I have plans in the future to affect change, to bring change in our into our communities, because it's necessary, and it's about time that people stepped up and stopped being so focused on themselves and started focusing on the community around them, because where I came from looks so much different than the suburbs that I live in now. So the purpose was never to just move out and forget about little old Dylan. The purpose was always to get out and be who God called me to be and come back. So part of that is with me doing this video and me letting y'all know that I really think that when it comes to relationships and when it comes to choosing people, I know you have all these freedoms to do whatever you will, but at the same point in time, I feel like that's a selfish viewpoint. So I have many selfish thoughts myself. So I'll see something, I'll be like, doggone right, because me. But when I think about the Black community, I've got to put that to the side. When I think about my family and the children that are becoming after me, I have to put all that to the side, because it's got to be bigger than me. Like, the earth gonna keep on spinning even after I'm gone. So it's more about, how can I help my people out? How can I help my people out? How can I help my children out, my grandchildren? How can I make this easier for them? And that's part of what I'm striving to do. So just be on the lookout for some great things coming out. And like I said, if you think single parent homes are better than 2-parent homes, by all means, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to respond and see where your mind is with it. And it's usually based off of different experiences. Like, my thoughts and viewpoint is based off my experience, because I was raised in a 2-parent home and I just thought it was amazing. But just don't let the hurt that you've experienced or that you've been fed ever cloud your judgment on what actually makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. I'm a boss by myself, but it's even better if I'm a boss with somebody else. So, yeah, y'all, make sure to drop in the comments what your thoughts were. Make sure to definitely stay tuned because I have some more things coming. I'm fleshing out these ideas that I have because my people are important to me. My family is important to me. The current situation I'm in right now, I can't do much for either one of them. So it's all about getting closer to God and getting more in tune with what he called me to do and who he called me to be, so that I can then go and minister to the people that I'm supposed to be ministering to. So, yeah, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Leave your comments below. If you ever want to run any ideas past me about anything that you're involved in your community, regardless of your race, regardless of your gender, I'm more than willing to run through ideas with you and possibly even help. So, my Instagram link will be in the description below. So hit me up on there, and y'all stay tuned for more. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't.